Welcome, Dr. James Beckett, Sports Card Insights. I want to thank my sponsors, Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, Heritage Auctions, Huggins & Scott Auctions, Mike Stadium Sports Cards, Burbank Sports Cards, ComC.com, and Beckett Media, Beckett Grading, Beckett Authentication. So here's an episode for your listening enjoyment.
These guys just got out of school. During the school year, obviously, their academics is their focus and then their various sports. So they don't work a ton in the shop during the school year. They're just getting ready to get ramped up and back into it here.
I wish I could have spent my summer vacation working in a card shop. That'd be a lot of fun. Anyway, welcome, Gotcher family from New Buffalo, Michigan, right on the border of Indiana, not even very far from Illinois. Rex, did you have your sons in mind when you started the card shop? Because I think your card shop has been your main splash, or were you doing stuff before that?
So the journey's pretty interesting. I was a collector as a young kid, and then not as an adult. My background is in retail. I've been in the retail business for a better part of 40 years. 5 or 6 years ago, Owen, he was 7 or 8, got interested in baseball cards. He started by maybe buying them at garage sale or at the retail stores, big box stores, things like that. And then we started taking them to shows, shops, et cetera, like that. I saw what was happening with the market from a retail point of view, and then how hot it was. And then I saw new boxes starting to sell 3 years or so ago was when we started looking at that. Max joined in with his brother collecting, and then they started trading. And then we opened an eBay store together. I thought it would be a great opportunity for them to learn about commerce, things they don't necessarily learn in middle school, customer service, shipping, receiving, et cetera. And they had some good success with that, selling dollar cards, $10 cards, $5 cards via eBay. And we still do. We have another retail business here in New Buffalo. It is a retail flooring store. After the success of the eBay store, we started looking for a spot to open a card shop because I thought we need to start looking at this more seriously. When COVID shut us down for about a month and a half, literally, we took a look at the current retail space we had in our center and we retooled it. And we opened the card shop. We're going on 3 years now. And that's how we got into it. So I didn't enter the space from a collector's point of view. Owen is really the one that sparked the whole thing. So he would get the credit for getting this thing off the ground.
Well, yay, Owen. Great job there. It seems like your card shop leaned into the COVID thing because your card shop gets a welcoming, come and stay, linger, visit, your retailing experience. You've tried to make an environment where people are happy to be there. And it's not like COVID where you got to get in, get out, social distancing, make your transaction, get out. It seems you become hopefully some kind of a community gathering place.
That's literally what we strive for. And in some ways, it's still a work in progress. We make some changes and then fine tune and so forth, but we've literally expanded the space twice since we opened. It's not quite triple the space, but it's very close from when we first started. As you know, no surprise, the card business has exploded over the last couple of years. We've been fortunate to be a part of that. And we've added a lot more memorabilia as well. But yeah, our goal has always been to create a hangout. And frankly, Jim, it's self-serving in a lot of ways too, because we wanted to create a work environment where we like to be. Pool tables, ping pong tables, games, stuff like that, television, sports on TV all the time. What better place to work was that if you're into sports?
Well, Max and Owen, what are you guys looking forward to this summer? If you're going to have time to be in there, are you going to be playing pool and playing ping pong, serving the customers, sorting cards?
Sometimes for me, the shipping is a little fun. And also, of course, the games in the back are really fun too.
Shipping, what you mean, like packaging things up or pulling orders, or what would it be?
Cards and boxes and shipping them out.
Okay. Owen, what are you looking forward to?
I like opening the cards a lot, like breaking stuff. And then also, as Max said, like the arcade spot when they're back there. It's really fun.
I'll tell you, Rex, if you've got 2 sons that like to ship cards, that's really terrific. I think most eBay sellers, I think they love taking the order or getting the money, but some eBay sellers are not so great on the shipping and packaging.
Yeah. Make a source of pride in some ways about who can make the best looking box or even who can do it the fastest. So
that's cool. I don't know that being an entrepreneur is born, not made, but you're certainly giving your sons an opportunity to see. To me, one of the definitions of an entrepreneur is somebody with a real can-do, I can do this. You're giving your sons a real life example of starting something from scratch and adapting as you go. Owen and Max, do you see that as something in your future that you'd like to be more entrepreneurial of starting something, or some people just prefer to have a job and do the same thing every day? But for me, being an entrepreneur was pretty exciting.
I like the thought of being an entrepreneur But I feel like working under people in the same industry first would be smarter, so you get to learn it, and then you could branch off and start your own.
I love that. Owen?
I would feel like maybe when I get older, this might be like a more serious shop. It might get more serious, but I do other jobs. But this is really fun to stick with right now.
Yeah. Sometimes when the father is an entrepreneur and the sons or the daughters, whatever, if they want to come into the business, it's really good if they have a varied experience of working other places too, to see what it's like. Rex, I'm trying to figure out whether you have a kind of a product background or a service background. And the card shop seems to be a really good blend of both. There's products, but it's heavily on the service side too.
The short answer is both. I started my retail career in men's clothing for Federated Department Stores back in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which is where I was born. Didn't grow up there. I grew up in Northern Virginia, came back to Tulsa after high school. I moved to Dallas, where I lived in your neck of the woods, Dallas and Plano, for about 12 years, and went to work for Brooks Brothers Clothing as a district and a regional director, and traveled the country with them for about 10 years, then moved to Atlanta with them. And then I was recruited to run the Nike Town store on Michigan Avenue in Chicago. So I did a stint there, and then went on to big box retailing at Home Depot, where I started running a team of designers and installation for their now defunct division, which was called Expo Design Center. And that's where I met my wife, Tina. She was a manager at that location as well. That led us to open our own flooring business where we actually sell the product and do the installation. We have installation teams that do that. I personally did some installations over the years, but mostly we managed teams that did it for us.
I think it's good to know all the elements of the job and what's involved in having a successful business. I did that too. I did some things that probably I didn't need to do, but it gave me the knowledge to know how something should be properly done. And Owen and Max, you guys are seeing this firsthand in the card shop. But Max and Owen, are there other card shops you've been to that do things differently, that you think, hey, we should do it that way? Or do you mainly just stay in your own excellent card shop?
We've been to other shops, but something about the other shops, we make the shop how we want. And since we made it the way we want, it's hard to see other shops as more exciting than ours, in our opinion.
That's good. But are people coming into your store, into your shop, Max, and saying, hey, I'm going to do this in my shop?
We haven't heard anything like that.
Yeah, they're maybe not going to tell you. Oh, and what do you think about other stores compared to y'all's own?
The ones I've been to, I think that ours is definitely better. It has like more memorabilia, more like a kid-friendly zone than just cards in like a case.
Does that mean that Max and Owen, a lot of kids your age and your buddies, is there a pretty strong contingent of teenagers coming into your store because you guys have designed it to make it friendly for people your own age?
Yeah, there's a couple of people that come in here pretty regularly.
Because back in the day, it was mainly adults coming in, maybe dragging their son or daughter, but mainly adults. And I love seeing where it's a hobby for the whole family, a really wide spread of age that can really enjoy it.
It really is what we see. We certainly, there's no shortage of adults coming in and buying boxes, especially the high dollar boxes. That's really the main customer that drives that. But we see kids in here every day and the weekends. There was a weekend a couple weeks ago where they had 3 or 4 baseball tournaments, youth baseball tournaments going around in the area, different locations. And we had 6 or 8 different teams of kids that were in the shop over the weekend, all from different places. So it was really great to see their love of collecting connected with their love of the sport, which was really fun to see. But yeah, we see new collectors all the time. Also, this is a major summer tourist area. New Buffalo has a really great beach. There's a lot of other attractions here. There's a casino. It's a vacation spot. So we get people from all over the country that visit the shop when they're here on vacation during the summer. And kids are a huge part of it.
Rex, what are you hoping your sons learn from being in the shop so much, especially this summer? A lot of things as a parent are caught, not taught. You're putting things out there that you're being an example, and I'm sure you are. But what are you hoping that they would pick up? Your work ethic or your ability to size up a situation or to figure out what the customer really wants? What are your objectives for them?
The main thing, again, that we set out to do was to teach them about the business world and or the work world, if you will, stuff that they don't teach them in school, just basic commerce, customer service, logistics, those sorts of things. But big picture is really what I want them to get out of it, if they can, is I want them to see the payoff for working hard. And so work ethic, as you described it a second ago, that probably would be the best thing, is to develop a work ethic and understand how that pays off for you.
To do a card shop with putting customer service front and center and saying, we're going to be about that. I'm wondering, Rex, if you had friends that said, what? You're going to do what? Because your sons would not learn about good customer service in a lot of the card shops. When you go to a card show, you've got a lot of dealers that are really not very personable, that just want to buy the cards and move along. But you seem like you're intentionally saying, we're going to do a card shop the way it's supposed to be done, and I want my sons to learn from that.
Absolutely. And as a retailer, good customer service, or even superior customer service, was paramount to our success wherever we've been. And we carried that through to all of our business ventures, including the card shop. There's really just, in my view, no reason not to be customer-centric with our focus. It's such a fun hobby to begin with. And we're connecting. We're a sports-related family. I plays 3 sports. Max plays 2 sports. I coach high school football. We're very a sports-centric family. We like to have fun with it. And so we want people to feel that atmosphere when they walk into the shop. We want them to have fun. The challenge, of course, this is no secret to you, the challenge in the sports card retailing is so much different than any other retailing, because there's a large percentage of your customers who are also your competitors. There's no shortage of people who think that they can do it. And there's a lot of people that are looking to profit off of what they buy from you. So that does present some challenges at times. We roll with it.
They say the customer's always right. It's really not true, but you need to act like that. But I'm just wondering, Rex, if you or Max or Owen, let's say you're all in the store there, is there any perception of who would be the softer touch? If somebody wanted a bigger discount or wanted to make a trade, would they be, I don't want to talk to Rex because he's the tough guy. I want to talk to Max or Owen and see if I can make a deal. What happens there? Because I know when I had a card shop, one of my partners was so easygoing. If somebody made him an offer, he'd say, sure. Whereas myself or the other partner would have said, no, this is a fair price as it is. So is one of you guys the tough guy and one of you guys the preferred person to work with?
I think they would probably, and I probably would have to admit it too, I'm probably the softest touch, particularly when it comes to kids who are just starting out. We give away so much stuff, literally just give away. We have quarter cards, dime cards, et cetera, like that. And if a kid starts pulling those cards out of those value boxes and he's got a stack worth 50 cents, I'm just going to usually most times give it to them. And even when they come into the store, if they've been here, if they're first time kids, they all get a Panini football or basketball sticker book and a pack of stickers. That also has a card in it. We give those away as free. We don't sell those. We use those as giveaways. So I'd probably be the softest touch, particularly when it comes to kids.
Yeah, good note to end on. I will make a note of that when I come up there. I'm looking for Rex. I'm going to declare myself to be a first-timer and a big kid. So let's see what you can do for me, Rex. I'm looking forward to it. Max and Owen, I'll deal with you guys as well.